Multicultural education describes a system of instruction that attempts to foster cultural pluralism and acknowledges the differences between races and cultures. It addresses the educational needs of a society that contains more than one set of traditions and a mixture of many cultures. The goal of multicultural education is to help students understand and appreciate cultural differences and similarities and to recognize the accomplishments of diverse ethnic, racial, and socioeconomic groups. Concord and Smith acknowledged the importance of multicultural education by stating 3 premises on the results of multicultural education. Number 1, cultural diversity is a valuable resource. Number 2, multicultural education preserves and extends the resource of cultural diversity rather than merely tolerating it or making it melt away. And number 3, a commitment to cultural pluralism should permeate all aspects of teacher preparation programs. Educators must ensure that students have deep and authentic educational experiences about the lives of others who do not share their cultural and racial background and experiences. Educators must also ensure that culturally different students learn about themselves in rigorous and relevant ways. Yearly, our nation and schools become more racially and linguistically different. These are just a few reasons of why multicultural education is of utmost importance. Trumbull defines culture as a system of values, beliefs, and ways of knowing that guide communities of people in their daily lives. Lynch says that culturally responsive pedagogy is a student-centered approach to teaching in which the student's unique cultural strengths are identified and nurtured to promote student achievement and a sense of well-being about the student's cultural place in the world. Equity pedagogy can be defined as teaching strategies and classroom environments that help students from diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural groups attain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to function effectively within and create and perpetuate a just, humane, and democratic society. Banks believes that equity pedagogy could prove to be important for teachers to achieve equity in their classrooms. This approach would ultimately prepare students to participate and change societal structures which have embraced inequity for so long. Teachers have a great influence on the multicultural classroom. Educators have to hone their pedagogical skills to differentiate instructional practices to meet the varying needs of population in the general classroom. By bringing cultural biases to a conscious level, we are less likely to misinterpret the behaviors of our culturally different students and treat them inequitably. Educators must also realize that culturally responsive teaching involves incorporating into learning experiences components of what is known about students' knowledge of their cultures, their prior experiences, both in their countries of origin and their current living situations, as well as the learning styles of diverse students, to make learning more appropriate and effective for them. A common misconception that many believe about multicultural education is that in a predominantly monocultural school, there is no need to study other cultures. However, the more racially and/or culturally homogeneous the classroom, school, and community in which the students live and learn, the more students must be exposed to multicultural education to prevent and counter stereotypes learned in their homes, schools, communities, and even the media. A strategy to interest students in social studies is by focusing on a person that they can relate to from the past. Research assignments through which students assume the identity of historical individuals can help the students surpass their age-appropriate egocentricity, while allowing them to have big egos as someone of historical importance. Ways to incorporate multiculturalism into your classroom include having books from around the globe, having dramatic play clothing and accessories from around the world, providing art materials to help kids learn inclusion and acceptance, having photographs, posters, and displays that highlight a variety of people and cultures, having instruments and music from around the world, and also inviting guest speakers to come and speak to your students. Children's literature is another way to incorporate culture into the classroom. Literature is important for students of all ethnicities and backgrounds in any subject area. Literature is a great way for students to learn about the different cultures in a fun and imaginative way. By reading these books to your students, the classroom as a whole is learning cooperatively. There are a variety of books that can be incorporated into schools around the world to teach students about the different cultures. Tar Beach, written by Faith Ringgold, is a book about a little girl in Harlem in the year of 1939 looking down at the eponymous tar beach of her family's roof. This book is evidence that imagination can overcome almost anything. The Girl Who Loved Wild Horses, written by Paul Goebel, is a Caldecott-winning book of 1978, which is a story of a Native American girl swept up in the stampede. Inside Out and Back Again is written by a Vietnamese American writer. This novel won the Book Award in 2011. It tells the tale of Ha, a 10-year-old girl who flees to Alabama with her family during the fall of Saigon. Bud Not Buddy is written by Christopher Paul Curtis. This book was a 2000 Newbery Medal and Coretta Scott King Award. In conclusion, to answer our question, we can say that yes, multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy can be used to increase student interest in social studies.